Hey, it's Diego with Things You Developed. Today I'm talking about this really cool Yashica 35mm point and shoot film camera. Clearly there's a difference between this one and the regular one that you had seen or the retail version. It does have the very cool clear branding. This is a demonstration unit. If you're new to my channel, I have multiple cameras just like this. I actually have an Olympus Mu1 that's fully transparent and a Polaroid 600 box type camera that's transparent. I'll make sure to put them in the description so you can check those out as well if you like this video. But just getting into it, obviously this is a demo unit, so this was for resellers or people who had camera stores. The companies would put these out as demonstration pieces so they could talk about the camera and see the internals of how it works. Obviously, I always have to mention it when talking about these demonstration units, is that it actually won't work. So if you were to put a roll in here and take pictures as usual, all the photos would come out white because all the parts that were supposed to be black actually stopped the light from coming in, and especially the film back door, you can see light would just burn through the whole images, so you just get a ton of white images. I do get that question pretty frequently, so I thought I'd just address it in this video. Just going through the camera here, you can see some of the cool features that you wouldn't notice otherwise on the retail version. You can see that the cable from the flash actually bends up and down alongside the actual flash, so it's pretty cool. There's a scene selector or just the rangefinder where it changes to multiple. The shutter is exactly the same. It's exactly the same on the ASA, just turns as usual. Here's the focus lock, the self timer. You can see the little mechanism kick on and off as you move it. It's pretty neat. Here's the shutter and the lock shutter button. The bottom, so you can see actually the rewind, how it works is that when you push this way, it actually triggers that little switch that does, something. A whole lot of magic goes on for this to work. It connects to the battery terminals, which are here. Simple, just like the regular one, the regular retail. And here's some of the chips that it got, the cable, some capacitors. It does have the resistors or maybe capacitors up top, little deals. And really straightforward. The cool thing is that these were actually never available for sale. You cannot buy them unless you buy it secondhand. The only way to get your hands on one is if you were a sales representative for Yashica, or you had a film camera store back in the day and you just held on to it throughout the years. It's actually really tough to get your hands on these. There's a whole list of demonstration units and I'd love to get my hands on a lot of them. As I said earlier, I do have actually 3 of them. Just getting back into here. It does still have the light seals for the shutter, which I think is funny because the whole rest of it, you can see it's still, proof for light leaks here, but then the rest of the camera is just going to allow so much light, and I thought that was really funny. There's the film compartment. It's actually really cool that they made this internal part transparent as well, because you can still see when I depress the shutter, you can still see a little movement, and I thought that was really neat. This camera unfortunately doesn't work, or else I'd show you some of the basic functions. For whatever reason, the battery terminal just does not work. It's actually really common. The 2 that I've owned, the Polaroid 600 and this one, both do not work. I want to believe if they're in a high visible area where they actually can get used by potential clients, they do actually get abused. If you think about some of the headphone displays you see at stores, you pretty much know that those things get snapped off the bat where somebody's not paying attention, or pretty much people just treat them with not the best intent. So finding one in good condition is actually really tough to find. This is actually a really sweet display piece. It's something in my collection that I thought was really neat, and I just thought I'd share with you guys because you don't see this every day. I like making videos just like this about cameras that doesn't get the attention I think it deserves, because stuff like this is gems, and documenting it and sharing it for future generations is going to be really cool. I think this is just a museum piece that should last forever. So yeah, if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe. I have tons of videos talking about rare and obscure cameras just like this, and on top of that, I like to review and test out other 35mm film cameras, applications, 110 film, and eventually I want to get into 120 film. So stay with me on that journey because I'm posting constantly and keeping you guys updated. And if you don't already, check out my Instagram. They get a quick look at some of this stuff before it gets actually talked about. So that pretty much wraps up this video. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Keep shooting film. Take care. Peace.